Hello, everyone. Following along after the sculpted animals for Raku Week on the Great Pottery Throwdown, we are back at the wheel for a souvenir set. The contestants were asked to make a ribbon plate, a tankard, a bell, and a sculpted object, either a shoe, a shell, or a wheelbarrow. Now, their inspiration was to come from their favorite resorts in the UK, and whilst I live all the way in Maine, we do in fact have our own York. So I lived not far from there when I was a kid, and so that will serve as the inspiration for my set. We're going to start off throwing everything on the wheel first. And my tankard is a little bit more of a large mug kind of shape, but that's okay. The ribbon plate is going to be interesting. It needs a nice wide rim that's going to have cutouts so that we can weave an actual ribbon through it after it's been fired. Now, my bell, I'm actually throwing off the hump. This is a method of making where you take a very large amount of clay and you center a small bit at the top. It makes it a little bit easier to handle, and it's great for doing multiples, so you can just cut one off and start right into the next without having to recenter a whole new lump of clay each time. The final shape of my bell is going to be a lobster buoy. While those are setting up, we're going to use a little wad of craft paper as a former for a periwinkle snail shell. These are actually a highly invasive species found all over the beaches in Maine. With the shells set up and drying, I'm going to hand sculpt one of my cleat handles for the tankard. With my handle attached, I used a needle tool to sketch out the scene. Most of the beaches in Maine are quite rocky, which does make for an interesting texture on a project like this. I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. Now, this week's episode of Throwdown is something that I have actually attempted to make before, although I haven't gotten to use one, and that is a tagine. Now, traditionally, they are once fired and made from terracotta, as they did in the show, and the contestants also had to make a brazier to hold the hot coals to cook with it. Now, the porcelain that I work with does not like any part of that. It is not going to hold up well to being once fired, and it is definitely not going to survive having hot coals directly touching its surface. So we're going to tweak it just a little bit. I still think it's going to turn out pretty cool though. So check in next week and see what we come up with.